The 8 pillars of life are physical health, psychological health, education and learning, career, finances, relationships, rest and recreation, and giving. Let's next look at each one briefly. Physical health, as we all have come to realize recently, is not entirely within our control, regardless of how well we take care to maintain an ideal health. Surprises like the pandemic can be sprung upon us. Still, there is a case to make for giving our all towards maintaining a healthy body and to be free of lifestyle diseases, because as we know, even in the case of a surprise infection by a potent and virulent virus like the COVID-19, our risks are much lower if we have a healthy body free of other comorbidities, which are mainly lifestyle diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart conditions. Daniel Goleman, in his book Emotional Intelligence, had said that most of us are subclinically psychotic. Perhaps he is right. Still, we need to try and learn what is the ideal state of psychological health. Psychological health is the second pillar of life. We need to know a little about what is psychosis, what is neurosis, and what we need to do in order to deal with them. How can we maintain a functional state of psychological health? The third pillar is education and learning. We go through life from the age of 5 or 6, for most of us, at least until we are 18, or for some of us even longer, in formal educational institutions. But some of us believe that that's the end of learning. This is not true. We have to continue to learn apart from what we learned in formal educational institutions. Throughout our lives, we have to learn other things that help us live life right, things that help us do everything right, actually. So learning beyond education, beyond formal education, is the third pillar of life. The fourth pillar of life is career. We have to have a job, something we do, something that allows creative expression, freedom to creatively express ourselves, our skills and knowledge, and in so doing, fulfilling not only our need, but also adding value to the lives of others. So that is the fourth pillar of life, our career. A career is more than just a job. A job is something you do in order to exchange your time for money, which goes towards the sustenance of your life. But a career is a lot more than that. So all of us need to have a career, and this is the fourth pillar of life for which we have to set goals. When I was younger, I had the misconception that the love of money is the root of all evil, and for as long as I believed that money evaded me, it was not until much later that I realized the importance of developing healthy financial goals and to go in pursuit of money in a healthy way. And therefore, finance is the fifth pillar of life. The sixth pillar of life is relationships. You must have a healthy relationship with everyone and everything around you, and this is very, very important in order to live a fulfilling and balanced life. Healthy relationships should be established with immediate family members, people beyond that immediate family circle, like distant relatives, extended family, friends, colleagues, and sometimes even strangers that you only meet once. This is a very interesting topic that's very close to my heart, which I will cover in another video soon. So that is the sixth pillar, healthy relationships. Pillar is rest and recreation. Yes, rest and recreation is a very important pillar. And just like when you are creating an artwork, the blank empty space that you leave not filled with any color creates more emphasis around the artwork that forms the centerpiece of your art. Rest and recreation is a very important pillar that needs to be set as a goal, and this actually gives you more energy to channel towards the other pillars. The final and eighth pillar is giving. All the other pillars, the seven pillars preceding this eighth pillar, has been about us attaining something. Giving is about us giving it to others. You see, we cannot receive or get if we don't give, right? Someone has to give. So each one of us must set a goal towards giving in order to receive. In fact, giving should have been the first pillar, but why I mention it the last is because we can't pour from an empty bottle, can we? Just as a recap, I have represented the 8 pillars in the form of a radar chart to give you a visual representation of what an ideal life should look like. In other words, every pillar is well developed and standing strong. There is a line connecting the 8 pillars, and you can imagine this as a cord. Cord then serves as a material that connects the 8 pillars. So each pillar actually feeds into another and also draws energy from another pillar. So an ideal life should look like this, but it's something that we need to continue to work on. Often an individual's life may not look like this, or it may not look like this at all times. It's perfectly all right to have a radar chart representing the development level of each of the pillars that results in your radar chart looking like this. In other words, some aspects are more developed than others, but this is still somewhat balanced. This radar chart here represents the life of an individual where the pillars are developed in a manner that's less than ideal. If you take a closer look, you can see that some pillars are well developed, namely finances, career, education, and giving, and others are poor. So, as I had explained earlier, the line, the orange line here, is akin to a cord that is connecting all the pillars through which the pillars are drawing strength and also feeding energy into the other pillars. So when you see that radar chart representing someone's less than ideal life looking like this, and you know that the pillars that are poorly developed, like in this case relationship, will then draw strength or cause stress on the other pillars, and eventually this will cause the person's life to collapse. So the other pillars would also lose their strength because of this less than ideal pillar. Another representation of a less than ideal life, some pillars are very poorly developed, which will lead eventually to the collapse of the other well-developed pillars. So development of all the 8 pillars is akin to juggling. It's an ongoing process. You have to pay attention to one and then shift to the development of another and another, and always come back to revisit the earlier pillar, and so on and so forth. So life is an ongoing process of setting goals in these 8 areas, working to achieve them, resolving challenges, and such is life. I hope this video has been helpful. See you soon in another video.